Friday, Fettin' Friday, Fabulous Friday, Fantalocious Friday, Fantastic Friday, Futuristic Friday, whatever kind of Friday it's gonna be. It's a good day to have a good day. Good Friday morning, everybody. May 28th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Grenada. Those of you on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, and all the folks joining us on Party Grenada and Go to FET Facebook pages. It is a pleasure to have you. Happy am I to be in your presence. Thanks for starting your Friday off with us here at the GBN. Those of you joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, a spicy Grenadian, Caracupiti, Martinique, and Friday morning to each and every one of you joining us across the region. And those of you internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. I have started the day once again in a fantastic mood. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Let me calm down. All in all, I never thought I'm a morning person, you know. I think it's all in, knowing all you tuned in cheers me up on the morning. I never thought I was a morning person until I came here. Good morning, everybody. Bless up your whole selves. Let's do this. It's time for this morning's Word of the Day. What's up, Zidze? Notice a French accent. Okay, oh, calm down. I done. Let me go. It's time for this morning's Word of the Day. This morning's word of the day is desolate. Desolate. It's spelled D-E-S-O-L-A-T-E. Desolate. Desolate is an adjective which means devoid of inhabitants and visitors, joyless, disconsolate, and sorrowful through or as if through separation from a loved one. It also means a showing the effects of abandonment and neglect, devoid of warmth, comfort, or hope. Desolate. The word hasn't strayed far from its Latin roots. Its earliest meaning of deserted mirrors that of its Latin source, which comes from the verb which means to leave all alone, forsake, empty of inhabitants. That word's root is a word which means lone, acting without a partner, lonely, or deserted. A source to sole, soliloquy, solitary, solitude, and solo. Desolate also functions as a verb with its most common meanings being to lay waste and to make wretched, to make someone deeply dejected or distressed. That's the word of the day this morning. Desolate, D-E-S-O-L-A-T-E. An adjective which means devoid of inhabitants and visitors, joyless and sorrowful through or as if through separation from a loved one, showing the effects of abandonment and neglect, devoid of warmth, comfort, or hope. An example of the use of the word: Julian Baker, as she's adding reverb to her guitar, strives to add chilling effects to her already desolate words, not to make them feel more relatable. That's the word of the day this morning. Desolate. D-E-S-O-L-A-T-E. An adjective which means devoid of inhabitants and visitors, joyless, disconsolate, and sorrowful through or as if through separation from a loved one, showing the effects of abandonment and neglect, devoid of warmth, comfort, or hope. That's the word of the day this morning. And as you go about your fantastic Friday, you get into the weekend. It's a simple thought, I always like to bring you into the weekend on a joyful note. The thought of today is simply make today amazing. After all, this day won't come around again. Make today amazing. Whatever you need to do to make it an amazing one, do it. That's the kind of Friday that I want you to have. A good one, an amazing Friday. Bless up all your whole selves on this. It's going to be a good day. It's always a good day to have a good day because there's never going to be another Friday, May 28th, 2021. No other day would be like this one. So what better way to clock it into history than making it amazing. That's my wish for you today and for the rest of the weekend. Make today and your weekend amazing. After all, this day won't come around again. That's the thought. Have yourselves a blessed one. All right, let me see what is celebrated today. Today it is Hamburger Day. Hamburger Day, aka burger. It is the most iconic food in countries around the world. Over 100 billion burgers a year are eaten, so it's only fitting we set aside a day for this special sandwich. Originating in Germany, the hamburger as we know it was developed in Wisconsin, a town still famous for its hamburger heroics. Today it is Hamburger Day, so for lunch, maybe even breakfast, have yourself a burger today, however you like it, whether it's rare or well done, all those in between. Today is a good day for a hamburger. Cheese without cheese, bacon without bacon, all you know, Blossom Moon must have the bacon. Some people like it with pineapple, however you like it. Set up yourself today, it's Hamburger Day, live a little, it's Friday, it's a good day to, cheat a little bit on the diet on Hamburger Day, yeah. And there's salad in it, because you're throwing a piece of lettuce, a tomato, and a cucumber, a whole salad. The bread is croutons. Oh gosh! So you see, you're not really breaking it down. And the meat is a protein. Tell me that ain't a meal. Tell me that ain't a healthy meal. Salad with protein and croutons. That's what it is. Think of it today as that on Hamburger Day. I am a bad influence. I know. All right, let's see what's happening today. All right. The Doha Diamond League, well, it has already started to run off our time, and Doha in Qatar, they've already started the competition. And Grenada's Kirani James, Olympic gold and silver medalist Kirani James, is in the lineup. He is running out of, or should I say, he ran out of lane 6 this morning in the 400-meter final. The race is scheduled for 1:26 in Qatar, which is 6:26 Grenada's time. I have not seen the results as yet, but once I see them, I'm going to share it, whatever those results are. So let's hope and pray that it was a spectacular race for Kirani. I'm not even talking gold, silver, or bronze. Once it was a good run for him as he continues to come back into competition and bounce back and show that he is still dominant in the 400 meter, in the quarter mile, then I'm good with that. So as soon as I get the results, I will share it with you, as Kirani raced in the 400 meter final this morning at the Doha Diamond League. I'm still scoring for the results, and once I get it, I will share. In the meantime, let's get ready for the morning edition of news. For those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms, we bring you highlights of last evening's newscast. It's Good Morning Grenada on a fabulous, fantalocious, fantastic, free-up, fettin' Friday. We'll be right back.
As countries around the world grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic and measures to curb the impact on people, vaccines developed are seen as the sole answer at this time to protect lives and livelihoods. But to make this effective, countries are seeking herd immunity. In Grenada, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell indicated that he will not legislate this act. However, some businesses are beginning to make this a requirement. GBN's Christina John took to the streets of St. George to find out how people feel about this move.
If you are an avid fan of sporting events and you are not vaccinated, well, you will not gain entry into the venue. That's according to Health Minister Nicholas Steele. Vaccination, he says, will be mandatory for people wishing to attend some events.
We are now looking forward to, as you will hear shortly, announcements with respect to fully vaccinated events, which is the beginning of us getting back to the new norm after COVID-19, which is us being able to gather, recreate as we are accustomed or as we remember, and getting back to that norm. We have cricket, football, entertainment. All of these are being considered because a significant amount of people are vaccinated, and therefore we can have those persons gather, congregate, meet, socialize.
This new measure sparked mixed reaction from the man on the street.
But you know which way? I don't walk into it, I don't think I just cover a mask. So, and I don't social. Conflicting reports, this and that. But I take it at a low profile like that. I mean, if I have to do it, I will do it. I will not advise you to, not to do it.
Well, the vaccine is all right for the corona.
It's up to reach, so we just have to accept it. and to do like nearly every transaction, it work with vaccine, concerning your job, moving out from the country, coming into the country. So that's why it's there, so we have to abide with it.
Why we have to get vaccinated to attend events? When most of the time we go to events and we always separate ourselves, just like how they teach us to separate ourselves. Why is the big deal in vaccinated to go to us cricket game as what I'm out for now to trick people to get vaccinated? Jump by jump low, we will be going to the game. Even though we vaccinated or not, we will be going to the game.
This gentleman says he took the vaccine. However, now he is questioning whether or not he really should have taken it.
I take a little vaccine for myself too, so you know what I mean? So I feel that people are supposed to be vaccinated, you know what I mean? So they ain't go end up with this kind of disease and all kind of thing. Although people saying all kind of thing about it, making people scared about taking it, you know what I mean? So I and all this. So it's better to be safe than sorry.
Another gentleman reminds us that individuals have rights that should.
The laws of Grenada never tell you anything that you have to be vaccinated to be in a particular area, or the international laws, the rights of human beings. You know, and no international law should not be used over our constitutional law.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, limitations due to the COVID-19 pandemic have restricted sporting associations from facilitating fans at the events. Now, organizers are considering their return, but vaccination will likely be a major factor. Details in this report.
International cricket returns to the National Cricket Stadium next month, albeit with certain restrictions. Chairman of the National Organizing Committee, Troy Garvey, officially confirmed on Wednesday the hosting of 5 T20 internationals in the tour of South Africa from June 26 to July 3rd. Garvey said serious considerations are being given to receive fans who are fully vaccinated at the venue.
As I said, the games are coming. We have had lots of inquiries, not only locally, but also from the diaspora. What is happening? Can we come with the restrictions being lifted a bit with the flights, the number of flights coming into the country now on a daily basis, with the quarantine protocol being changed for persons who are fully vaccinated? I think it's a great platform for the persons, especially in New York market, who would like to come home to just get some ease from the stress and pressures of the COVID-19.
President of the Grenada Cricket Association, Dwayne Gill, noted the series was scheduled for Trinidad before Cricket West Indies solicited Grenada for a venue change.
It will start at 2 p.m. and of course a T20 game is a 3-hour game, should end somewhere around 5 p.m. So once again, we are happy and we will work with all the stakeholders. We've been in talks with Cricket West Indies just to ensure that everything in place. What we had to do was to look at the readiness of the national stadium. We believe, based on the matches we've played at a local level over the last couple of months, we believe the facility is ready and will be ready. The surface is pretty good. The net area is pretty good based on what the ground staff they've been doing at the national stadium. The other area, key area we had to look at was the players pavilion and so on. Minor repairs to be done, but for a game of that nature, we expect to more or less go through the same systems we've been going through, but now with the additional responsibility of hosting these two teams in what we refer to as a biosecure environment.
Health Minister Nicholas still added that from the ministry's standpoint, only fully vaccinated people can be allowed based on the size of the gathering.
From a health standpoint, we would like to see as many people as possible in the stadium looking at cricket, but that can only be people who are fully vaccinated. We cannot take a risk otherwise, and therefore, in order to have that size of gathering of persons in the same place, it has to be fully vaccinated persons at this point in time.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Dr. Patrick Antoine is setting himself separate and apart as a former advisor to the NNP administration than an integral member of cabinet or parliament. Antoine says his role began and ended as an advisor to the government of Grenada in giving policy options, however, was never part of the implementations of the policies. This is as he leads the Grenada movement towards the transitioning process to becoming a political party.
Chairman of the Grenada movement, Dr. Patrick Antoine, is seemingly removing himself from the actions of the ruling NNP administration during his stint as chief advisor to the government.
I never attended one cabinet meeting. I was never appointed an MP. I was never a senator. As my brother Chester Humphrey and others would have told me back then, the thing about advisors is that you get to advise the thing, but once it leaves your hand, you have no say over what is implemented. And so I didn't have a role over what was implemented.
Dr. Antoine is maintaining the stance of being only an advisor on policy options, but never part of the decision making.
No, I can't take ownership for everything that the administration did. I can take ownership for the advice that we gave them. If you look at the growth and poverty reduction strategy, I can take advice for what's contained in that. If you look at the manifesto in 2013, and it was not my first manifesto, I contributed to others, not just in Grenada.
He says if TGM is given the opportunity in government, their first order of business would be to immediately implement a joint program to get the agricultural sector producing at a tremendously higher level while providing markets locally.
How are we going to do that? We're going to use a mix of domestic policies, and we're going to use a mix of trade policies, and we're going to use a mix too of policies from finance. We are going to be speaking to these very real measures when we go around the country. That's the first thing. The first thing is to get our productive sectors moving.
The TGM chairman says another top priority would be engaging the public sector unions and their issues, if they still exist, to find solutions to them with the understanding of the effects the public sector has on public sector wages. The economist adds that recovering GDP, which currently reflects 2015 levels, would be the other uphill task to overcome.
We want to contribute to this growth process by working through the productive sector. So what we're talking about is well thought out, and we've gone now to microscopic detail to talk about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. I just wanted to say that. But what I've asked you to allow me to say in response to that question is that our country needs healing. Our country does not need healing through prayer, right, by one group. Our country needs to heal itself by all recommitting to this humongous task ahead of us, by all coming together and setting aside our differences.
He believes if petty politics and warmongering continue, what is important as a country would be forgotten. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
One of the highlights of former Senator Terry Noel's short stint in the upper house of Parliament was his caution to government against the big spending during his budget presentation. According to the former senator, his concern was surrounding a possible return to a period of structural adjustment. Noel shared what he deemed as unfinished business as a senator. Gerard Joseph has the details.
There were two motions and several questions to be tabled and answered upon his resignation from the Senate that Terry Noel would like to see taken up by his fellow senators.
Some of the questions were related to the tourism authority in terms of hiring foreign persons and asking if there's nobody in Grenada that is capable of doing that job, why it have to be, a foreign individual. And we all carry brothers and sisters and so on. I don't, not chastising the Barbadian people or anything of the sort. But I think we should have looked inside before we look outside.
The former senator says of the two motions, there was one he was very passionate about.
The one that I'm really passionate about, which I was also would have submitted a petition alongside it, which I got hundreds of people to support the idea, which is to do with a motion that I moved, which is asking the government to preserve and restore the Maurice Bishop, former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop residence at Mount Weldale. and I believe it could be linked, mentioning that could be linked to heritage tourism.
Noel says it was coincidental that heritage tourism was one of the high points of the Prime Minister's feature address at the UNDP's regional dialogue.
But I'm that's one I would have been very passionate about, and believe it is needed. The fact that tourism is a highly competitive venture, and we have something that the other Caribbean countries, English-speaking Caribbean, don't have, which we could link to the tourism sector, which is the fact that we were the only English-speaking country to wage a revolution. And I think it should even go further than the Maurice Bishop House. I mean, that was the last place Maurice Bishop House was seen. That's where he used to live, and the last place of his memory, because the fact we have no grave or no I will never found his body. I think it was out of respect to him. Just giving credit to our history and our heritage.
Having contacted his former colleague senators, he is hopeful that they carry on the motions to the Senate. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Primary school students across the state of Grenada sat the first component of the CPEA exam on Thursday. GBN spoke to several students about their experience and their expectations for Friday. We get more in this report.
1,906 primary school students are registered to sit the 2021 CPEA examinations, which commenced on Thursday and conclude on Friday. Of that number, 1,026 are males and 880 are females. 34% students more than what was registered last year, although not held. GBN visited several schools in St. George to get students' feedback after completing day one. Here is what they conveyed.
It was good, yeah.
It was fun.
I was nervous. I had feel to cry at first.
Actually, you did.
I did cry because I was very nervous at the first time, and then when I get accustomed to it, I did better.
I was worried about the maths, but then when I was doing it, I got it. So yeah, it was good.
Well, my maths was good because some of the things was kind of hard in a way because when some of the words is big and stuff. So yeah, that's what helped.
I love the general science part because it was really easy.
The primary school students are currently awaiting day 2 of the CPEA examination. Here is their plan for the final day.
I would study extremely hard for one of the past papers that we are going to do language, because I'm not as good as language, but I could do it. So I would study hard for that 2 past papers tomorrow.
Students are already anticipating the outcome of their exams as they shared with the GBN their secondary school of choice.
I would like to attend St. Joseph's Convent.
High school!
Happy Hill.
High school!
GBSS.
High school!
Both high school. I wish I attend GBSS secondary school.
The students completed 2 papers on Thursday and 1 paper to be done on Friday. Deputy Chief Education Officer responsible for Educational Testing and Measurement Unit, Michelle Peters-George, expressed that not many changes have been made for this year's exams and that COVID-19 protocols are observed. Krista Campbell, trainee reporter, GBN News.
This is News at 7. Coming up, moves to boost citrus and banana production. Stay with us. The Ministry of Agriculture is embarking on a new initiative it hopes will revitalize citrus crop in Grenada. Through the use of greenhouses to propagate the crops, it is anticipated that this will aid in solving the citrus greening disease problem. More in this report.
Since 2018, the ministry had ceased the propagation of citrus crops due to the presence and effects of the citrus greening disease. This has negatively impacted production, leaving farmers somewhat in desperation for a solution. In an effort to rectify the problem, the Ministry of Agriculture considered growing citrus in enclosed areas, away from the harmful effects of the elements. With funding and support from the GIZ, UNDP, and Japan Caribbean Climate Change Partnership, the JCCP, A number of greenhouses were secured for that particular purpose. Acting Chief Land Use Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Trevor Thompson, says that with 2 greenhouses erected and increased requests for citrus plants, the ministry sought technical advice from an official from the Jamaica Drip Irrigation Company in the proper installation of the drip irrigation equipment to get the houses up and running.
Yeah, to provide some training and to the staff that will be finally installing the last pieces of the equipment, and also will be managing and operating the system. When the system was provided, it provided with some automatic valves, pressure pumps, a fertigation system, etc., that will reduce the amount of manpower that is required to operate the system, but will also help with its efficient distribution of fertilizer, for example, to all of the seedlings that will be in here.
Supervisor of Propagation at the Merbo Propagation Station, Nigel Gibbs, explains the effectiveness of the greenhouses in ensuring that farmers receive disease-free citrus plants.
This greenhouse that we're in here, it is an enclosed system, fully automated when all the components are added, and it will be an area used for grafting and growing of citrus plants. The design really is called a top nano, and it gives us a space just about 3,000 square feet of ground space, floor space, so we could propagate. We were targeting at least 5,000 citrus plants to be propagated in this area.
Gibbs explains that the greenhouses will be fully automated and will be used for grafting and growing citrus plants.
It is outfitted now with mist system irrigation. There will be extractor fans to control the temperature and regulate the heat and the humidity in the facility, which is in keeping with greenhouse normal protocol for citrus production. And it will also have an automated, what you call a fertigation system, where we would use pumps and dissolved fertilizer to give the plants, deliver nutrients to the plants.
The ministry hopes to have citrus propagated in time for the 2022 plant distribution season. Christelina John, GBN News.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, GFNC, is on a campaign to maximize the use of different banana species available in Grenada. Michelle Murray is a communications officer at GFNC.
We're having what we call a Musa Mania promotion. And for those who may be aware, Musa relates to the banana family. So that's what we started doing in the month of May. So we have different activities going on, and it's all geared toward making people become more aware as to the different varieties of banana that we have in Grenada. Pita, the Mattaboro, the Robusta, the giant fig, and so forth. People would be accustomed to the green banana, the rock fig, as well as the plantain, the blogo, and so forth. So we want to focus more on the rare types, and typically all get toward educating people and showing them practical ways that these crops can be used.
The initiative will be rolled out in communities where there are established groups. 8 to 10 people will be allowed per group. Murray says they will also be engaging farmers who have rare types of bananas as part of their campaign.
Have 8 planned group sessions that would be community groups, where we'll be going into different communities and doing practical sessions using different varieties within the banana family, showing people how they can be prepared and the healthier ways that they can be used. Also teaching them how they can be used as an alternative to some of the dishes that we're used to. So for example, most people would like lasagna using the pasta, but rather than using pasta to make your lasagna, you can actually make what we call a lasagna, where you use the banana.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Trelana Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. It was revealed that Grenada is not on the UK's green list of countries safe for travel. Minister of Health Nicola Steele said Grenada stands to lose economically from the UK's decision while urging the population to get vaccinated.
So it would have a negative impact on our tourism industry as a whole and potential arrivals from the UK market. So that's why we are working on that discussion, and that's why we continue to encourage the population. So this is not the Ministry of Health giving ourselves its own classification. These are other countries that are saying the same thing that we are, that to be not fully vaccinated or to have a population not optimally vaccinated is a risk, not just a risk to that population, but a risk to individuals visiting that country as well. And that's
our online audience were quick to comment on the minister's statement. Ruth asked, how come? We don't have COVID here at all. In fact, the UK is less safe than here. Sian commented, I'm fed up with this whole vaccine thing now. If one does not want to take it, it's their choice. Stop putting pressure on the unvaccinated people and telling them they can't work, etc. So wait now, we don't have a say of what is going into our body? Jason commented, we are COVID free. I think this is foolishness on the international market standpoint because we are a third world country and they are a first class country. They are pressuring us. The first class country needs to get their act together first and try to control and manage their COVID. They are way behind on that issue. Joanna asked, why are Grenadians so upset now? You guys have been saying that you don't want visitors to come and import COVID with them for the longest while. It's never a one-size-fits-all, and it's time you people recognize that. Eat your words now. And Fimba commented, how can we return to a normal life when it is said by senior doctors that even if you are vaccinated, you can still get infected and spread the virus? I'm missing something here. What's normal? Have we ever been in a normal state? When citizens can't get proper health care, justice from the justice system, salaries that are on par with the cost of living? That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
See the savings with Spice Isle Optical. Don't break the bank to get your focals. Classy, affordable eyewear. Service optimal. Our experienced technician works like a magician. Trust your sight with our company's vision, where your satisfaction is ever our mission. Mobile services, family packages, economical prices. Spice Isle Optical is where the deal is. Spice Isle Optical is located in Queen's Park, St. George's. For more information, contact us at 449-1588 or 440-0353.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Get Rubis, get going.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
We are taking pride in outstanding performance. We are encouraging and recognizing innovation. We are committed to continuously doing things better, with enhanced services coming soon. Yes, we are here for you. Check us out today for your financial need. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Introducing Color by Seasons. 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 Color by Seasons.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Understanding our ocean is education for life. Encourage your students to learn about marine life, water quality, sea level rise. Let them explore sciences. Encourage them through field trips and scholarships. The more they know, the better they can protect our oceans from litter and climate change. Let them rise to the challenge. The ocean is our responsibility, their inheritance, their future.
This message brought to you by the OECS Commission with funding from the Government of Norway. Remlit, tackling ocean pollution from turf to surf.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel. Available only at Rubis stations.
There are some islands down in the south you don't know nothing about. That's my Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique. 3 islands so unique. 3 different islands and 3 different parts interested to explore. So I urge you, don't stay too long. Come and see where we all belong. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves. Come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Those of you who stuck with us, thanks for your patience. Those of you just joining us, happy to have you. It's time to step into the showroom this morning where we feature our local talent, giving them the platform to share their stories and their thoughts. Always good to hear from our talented Grenadians. This month we've been featuring people in the acting drama art form, and I am happy to have one of the females involved in the industry. Over the past weeks we've had men, and this morning is for the women. Joining me virtually this morning is Miss Neila Ettienne. Thank you so much for joining me, Neila. Happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to share with Grenadians and the world, because I know you have an abroad online following. So that is,
international.
Of course. Because you've gone global, and I'm so happy to be here this morning sharing with you another female. And I alluded to the fact that we're both wearing blue. So yeah, power.
Happy to have you. Thank you so much. So Neila, like I said, this industry for the past years, we've been hearing mostly of the men who have been the playwrights. We have Mr. Peters, Urias Peters, Chris DeRiggs, Ricardo Keynes Douglas, and I'm happy that we actually have a female being one of the champions of the art form and actually making moves in when it comes to drama and acting and that sort of thing. So let's start first with your early stages in the industry. How did you get involved in drama? When did you realize that this was your calling?
Okay, my calling. Wow. Well, I must say that I have been heavily influenced by the Festival of the Arts program, which was very, very big when I was a student, when I was a young student. I remember also being a part of what used to be called the Young Authors program, where we used to write poems and short stories. And I remember writing a lot of the poetry part. And Arts Festival for me was a time when we got to showcase everything. We came out in our numbers to participate in singing and in drama and monologue and poetry. And that was when I discovered that, hey, maybe I like this more than, I thought I would. Because a lot of children growing up, the art is something that they would shy away from. The school I went to, it was big on sports. We have track and field and cricket was a big thing when I was going to school. But I found a home in the arts. I remember being in every aspect of the arts. First of all, every competition. I was in the choir, in poetry, in a monologue competition, choral speaking. Find me and I will be there. But back then I saw this as a hobby. I never thought, I can make money out of this. It was advertised as a hobby, come and sing with us in the choir. You'll have fun. You'll meet new people. It was a hobby, and it wasn't until even college, even going to college, I wanted to be in politics, international relations. That's where I was heading, and then I did languages. That's what I did in college. I didn't do any form of artistic expression until I went to do my first degree in the US. And back then too, I also signed up to do international relations. That's what I was going to do as my major. And then one afternoon, I heard singing in the music department. So I was like, you know what? I'm new to campus. Let me go check things out. And I discovered that they were rehearsing for a musical. And I was like, okay, this looks nice, So I signed up. And funny enough, I signed up to do extracurricular activity, and it was in a costume shop. So I was helping, prepare costumes for the same play. And the director walked in, and he was so mad. His name was David Fenema. And Dr. Fenema, he said, I lost another actress. I don't know how I'm going to make it. What am I going to do? And the costume designer at the time, she said, well, a young lady just walked in. Maybe she wants to be in a play. And that's how I got in my first play in the US. And it was a musical called Nine. I didn't have to audition or anything. They just needed an extra. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And it was that week I signed up. I changed my major to theater arts in the US. It was as simple as that. Really? It was that fun. Yeah, it was that simple. I mean, I knew I had a big heart for the arts back home, but that was my first decision to study theater was because somebody dropped out of a show. It was, and I think that's when I knew it was my calling, because I remember the night when we had to take photos. I ended up center stage in one of the photos. I was like, damn. So I was like, yeah. So it's an unbelievable story, but it was simple as that. Somebody dropped out of the play, and I got cast in a play that I had nothing about. I'd never been in a musical before. I knew I could sing because I was in the choir, and my Caribbean voice was very much welcomed, in the midst of, an American stage. So that was my very first opportunity to be on a stage like that, and that's when I decided to do theater arts for my career.
You see, one person dropped out, their loss was your gain.
Exactly, and that professor always reminded me of that. She's like, Neila, I never knew this was gonna be. We never knew, and that was it. I got cast in several of the productions, and I decided to do a mix. I wanted to learn everything I could learn, because I knew that I was gonna come back home and do this for my home country. I was like, we don't have all of these fancy things in Grenada, but I wanted to do it. So I know, I remember doing costume design and makeup design, and I did some set design, and I had to do a directing class, and my advisor, he said, you know your angles, you can tell a story with just people standing in a room. And I was like, really? I'm just doing the work. And it was then I said, maybe I should tap into my directing skills as well. But I never took it further than that one course. I did the course, I got my A, and I packed that directing stuff up, and I was like, I'm going to be an actress. I want to be on stage. Because, I love when I am on stage and I can see the audience member feeling everything that I'm feeling. That brings so much joy to me. So I packed up my directing kit, and I was like, yeah, I got my A, I don't really need that. But it was only when I came back home in 2012, I decided to start teaching theater in the schools. So at the time I was teaching at Boca Secondary, and I got employed as a foreign language teacher. So of course I couldn't just start teaching theater. So I decided to bring a few boys together, and I was like, hey, I hear y'all like acting and so on. What if we put a little group together? So we started doing things after school, and then we started performing in assemblies and so on. And then I was introduced to the theater arts syllabus for CXE by Ms. Griffith, Cecilia Griffith. Hi, Ms. Griffith, if you're listening. So she introduced me to the theater arts syllabus, and then I started teaching theater arts to 5 boys at Boca Secondary School, and that's where the theater started, the drama component started for me in Grenada, yeah.
So shifting your focus at the last minute from international business to theater arts, do you still have the interest or being drawn to international, but to politics, because that's what your initial goal was? Do you still have that feeling, or drama has taken over, Neila?
Actually, not at all. I think the only thing that I would do in terms of international relations and whatnot, I like to add social issues to my plays. So a lot of the plays that I've worked on, a lot of the plays that I want to write would involve some kind of social issue, something that we have to deal with. I like the serious stuff, you know? There's no joke about that. I would prefer to do a tragedy over a comedy any day, because it's real, you know. And a lot of people shut down all those issues that we face. There's a lot of issue. Having a mental illness is a big thing, and I would love to. Actually, I'm working on a short film about mental illness, which I can't say much about yet. But yeah, I really like the serious stuff. And there's the serious stuff that we put aside, we brush aside, the incest and all of that. We brush all of those aside. We laugh about it, you know, but I would prefer to deal with it head on. So a lot of the things that I want to work on, a lot of productions that I want to work on and I've worked on deal with social issues and so on. I mean, the comedies are great because people want to laugh, but at the end of the day, we still need to deal with those issues.
I agree with you.
I must add, Patient Zero, last year, I got the opportunity to direct my first full-length production, which was written by Christopher D. Riggs, Patient Zero. And I know I've been on your show before advertising Patient Zero. And Patient Zero, although it comes across to many as a comedy, deals with mental issues, it deals with family relations, what people brush aside. And I think COVID-19 showed us that there are lots of things happening within the family that we don't deal with, because, you know, we go to work 8 o'clock, we come back at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, so we don't get to interact with our family. But Patient Zero revealed that, because during the lockdown, we were all stuck in one hole. So we had to deal with those issues. And I think that is important. All of those things, that is very important. Mm-hmm.
So getting your degree in theater arts, coming back home, starting at Boca Secondary with those young men. And like you said, you want to focus on the serious issues. And to me, Grenada, when it comes to the arts, we tend to gravitate a lot to the comedies because we want to go and kick and slap leg and pelt back. Did you find it difficult to do what you really want to do with the arts in terms of focusing on the serious issues, or do you feel pressure to conform to what everybody else is probably gravitating to?
Well, I won't say I feel pressured. There's always room for compromise. You know, you still have to compromise. And even with the serious things, you can laugh about it, but at the end of the day, you still need to deal with it. So I don't think I was pressured in any way. And I must admit that I'm still learning. And I must give kudos to the people who came before me and the people who are still influencing my work. And some of those people, and I have to mention them. And of course, they're men, they came before me. But you still need to mention people like Ricardo Keynes Douglas. Ricardo Keynes Douglas gave me my first professional gig here in Grenada. And funny story, I got that role. It was a play called I Can Do It, Mama. It was a musical. It was for dinner theater. And funny enough, I got the role I got. It was because somebody got kicked out of the show. Yes. Yes, funny story. Somebody got kicked out, and I remember it was a Saturday, and he invited me. He said, come down, come and check out our rehearsal. So I went to the rehearsal, and the lead actress, she just didn't show up. And I remember him calling, and he said, hey, I've had it. I can't wait for you any longer. I have an actress here. I'm going to use her, and we're going forward with the show. The show must go on. And I got my first professional gig in Grenada, in a play called I Can Do It, Mama. Yes, it's funny, but and that's a lesson. That's a lesson that it just keeps. I can't go back. I can't go back to international relations. It just keeps hitting me in the face that this is what I need to do. so yeah, it's funny, but it's the truth. And if Ricardo Keys Douglas is listening right now, he can. I'm sure he's gonna call and say, yes, this is what happened. You know, he kicked out somebody off the show, and I got to play this amazing role as Penny, and I got to sing, and I got to enjoy my time as an artist. And that play had to do with people as an artist. Like the mother, she didn't want her daughter to become an artist because she felt like that she's not going to make money, you know? And that's the story of my life. People say, you're never going to make money doing drama. What are you doing that for? You know, you're a bright girl, go do law or something. And that has been our reality in Grenada. And I think that's probably part of the reason why we're still stuck in a box and we can't do anything else, because we push culture aside, we push the arts aside, and we tell everybody that you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a doctor, that is what's going to make you money, you know? And it's not always about money. Sometimes that love and that passion that you can share your stories with young people. And I think that is probably why I'm still where I am teaching, you know, and you know, it's a great joy that I could instill something, I could pass something on, and not teach just for teaching's sake, but teach them for life. And I think that is becoming my motto, teach for life.
That was going to be my next question, actually, because growing up in theater myself, I know that being involved in drama, being involved in the arts, it's not about money. It's all about the love and loving to perform and being on stage. So I was going to ask, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? And as you brought up teaching the children, teaching them for life, how rewarding has that been? And starting with 5 boys in Boca Secondary, how much has that grown? How many children have you been able to foster and nurture in the arts?
So great question. So during my I guess tenure at Boca Secondary, I had other students. So that first year, I had 5 students doing CXU theater arts, and they all passed with flying colors. And of course, I was excited because I was like, okay, this is great. So the following year, I had more students, and I remember showing. And may God rest his soul. Sherwin was a very vibrant teacher. He was a teacher at GBSS, and Sherwin was in acting, but he always kept saying he's not qualified enough, and he wants to learn more, and he wants to do more. And I remember going to GBSS. I actually had students at GBSS as well. I taught them on Saturdays and Wester Hall Secondary, and I also had I had two I guess, generations of students from Anglican High School as well. I did some work with the girls there. And it has grown tremendously, I must say, because from those experiences, I created the Creative Arts Theatre, and that came out of the secondary school students who pursued theatre arts at the CSEC level. So I have those students a part of my young company, and it's called Creative Arts Theatre. And we do a lot of outreach, we do a lot of community plays. The first play that we did was called Master Thief, and it was about a young man who did not want to follow in his father's footsteps, but instead he wanted to become his own person. Unfortunately, he wanted to become a thief, but he became the best thief. you know. So yeah, it was about following dreams and whatnot. We also love collaborating. So we've collaborated with a friend of mine, Todd Siff. He came from the US. We did a project called the Acceptance Project, where we brought young people together to talk about issues that affect them. And we pitched it to the Ministry of Social Development, where we were part of a conversation for the child sexual abuse back in 2018. So we do a lot of those kind of projects.
Looking at your dreams and your aspirations for where you want art to go, how can we get more children involved? Because over the years, it's the older heads that are involved in drama. You rarely see the young, early 20s people in it. And I feel like to get them involved, you have to start them early. How can we get more children involved in the arts and theater and drama?
Awesome. Well, it's a great question, because I've been trying to push for more young people getting involved in the arts. Unfortunately, I can't do it alone. I mean, I'm in a good place. I'm a teacher, so I get to interact with students all the time. But I think the conversation is bigger than me and you, Blossom. I think we have to involve the Ministry of Culture, the Ministry of Education, because I think that's where it's gonna stem from. They have most of the power. I can't say that I was truly blessed. Last year during the lockdown, I told myself I wasn't gonna let a crisis, hinder me from pursuing my dream. And one of the things that I wanted to do after returning home was to start a drama academy. And the plans were there. I drafted everything. And last September, I said, okay, we're gonna start. And I started with 5 children. 5 children showed up to my classes. And of course, that dampened my spirits a little bit, but I made it through 10 weeks with my five babies. And our second session was supposed to start in January. And that didn't happen because we weren't sure what was happening with the COVID-19 and all the protocols. And I told myself, I do not want to expose children to the virus and whatnot. So I decided to go back to the drawing board, and I set aside my Easter break to have another session. So and Easter, I got emotional. Trust me, I'm soft. So I started to cry because 2 days before the workshop, I had about 15 children. I was like, that's a good number. It's more than 5. And 2 days before the workshop, I remember I was hanging out with a friend, and I got a call from a man, and he introduced himself and he said, hello, my name is so-and-so, and I heard about this drama academy. Do you have room for 5 kids? And I was like, yes, I have room for 20 kids. And he brought 5 children to my session, and he told 5 parents, and they brought all their children. So for Easter, I ended up with 40 of the most creative young minds that I have ever come across. And and like I said, I got emotional. I started to cry because 2 days ago, I only had 15, and I ended up with 40 children. And it was just this amazing blessing. That alone in itself was a blessing to me, and I didn't need any money. I just wanted to just share, just show them everything I knew in 1 week, teach them everything I know in 1 week. And it was a blessing because I saw that there are people out there who want it, and there are people out there who would support it. And I recall inviting my friends over, and I said, hey, do you want to come and do some storytelling with the kids? And they all agreed. Mr. Urias came with his guitar, and we love Mr. Peters. We love him so much, and just him sharing, and Mr. DeRiggs came over, and Mr. Keynes Douglas came over, and it was just such a joy to share what we know and knowledge with the children. They got to do drama, they got to do visual arts, they got to, play, imagine, use the imagination. We did puppetry, and it was just such a wonderful, wonderful experience that I will never forget. Our summer session is coming up, so I'm going to share the flyers with you. So we have a similar, and we're adding martial arts, another form of the arts. We're adding martial arts. Yeah. Yes, definitely. So I am truly blessed, and I know that I'm probably preaching to the choir, but I really I'm begging the ministry to come on board. The conversation should not stop on a radio program. It should go on, and it shouldn't just be a conversation. We should move on it, because this is what is going to propel us. I mean, during the lockdown, and the lockdown has taught us a lot. During the lockdown, we saw that a lot of people are craving things in the arts. They're craving film, and they're craving online content, because we're restricted to our homes now. Yeah, we're restricted to the screen, and we can't just be watching international films. We need to watch some local ones too. So we have to do more for the arts in Grenada, and I'm imploring on the ministries, and I think that's what's gonna push us forward.
Well, I think you answered one of the questions one of our Facebookers posted. Do you think the Minister of Culture / the Ministry of Culture is doing enough to develop acting in Grenada? I think
right.
You just
so I mean, I must say that last year or the year before, 2019, I did engage the minister. I just walked up to the ministry one day, and I said, at the time it was Minister Cox as Minister of Culture, and we had never met before. And I went upstairs and I said, I'm going to meet the minister today. I heard he was there. I'm just going to go and I'm going to meet him. And he was a wonderful, wonderful person to chat with, and he was excited about doing more for the arts. And I would like to, he's no longer Minister of Culture, but that is something that, and I'm happy that his doors were wide open and he was excited to have that conversation. So we should have more conversations, and maybe I should take another walk up to the ministry.
Just walk up again.
The new minister, they need to see some younger minds. We have people who are ready to take that baton over, to carry it forth to the finish line. And I don't think we're done here. I don't think the acting and the drama, this cannot stop. And I'm appealing to all forms of the arts, not just theater. Also the dance, and I talked about my good friend Cecilia Griffith. She's also a female director / choreographer, and we need to harness all of that. All of that it's just it's sad, but it's the harsh reality.
Exactly, it's a reality. Neila, let's take a break, and then we're going to come back and continue the discussion. We're speaking with one of our talented minds, one of our creative minds, Neila Ettienne. This is the Showroom on Good Morning Grenada. We'll be right back.
Trends come and go, but jewelry is forever in style. Give a gift that lasts a lifetime. Diamond Intercontinental have diamond jewelry, gold and silver jewelries, engagement rings, wedding bands, chains, bracelets, and so much more. They also carry brands such as Anne Klein and Guess. Why wait? Visit Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store at the Esplanade Mall. Call 440-231234. The number again, 232-1234.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you. What's good? But I can't even hear you. Yo. Hello? Hello? Ah. Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in. Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicell's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicell.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Feel good facts.
And it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. Sorry, me and Neila got caught up in the discussion in the background. We're speaking with Neila Ettienne here on the showroom. One of the people, or one of the women involved, I want to specify, one of the women involved in drama and the arts, the theatre of the arts. Neila, you spoke about coming into the industry and your plans and your hopes. Where do you think drama can go in Grenada? The arts. Let me not just say drama. The arts can go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did touch a little bit earlier, and I think we can do more in terms of creating opportunities for more people to be involved, and not just seeing the same set of people in rotation. And I think that's part of where I come in, and I really want to go out there, go to the other parishes, not just St. George, because I work in St. George, and just reach more people, reach more women, reach more men. So yeah, and I honestly feel like we need to have more trained persons. So I think we should start with training more people to teach drama in the schools, and I think that is where we should start in the schools, and not forgetting TAMCC. Now I have recently noticed, well, I've noticed a long time ago, that TAMCC only had an elective in drama. A few years ago, when I was in TAMCC, we had one elective in drama, and that's it. Nothing else. Now, CXC has recently added, and recent as in 6-7 years ago, they've added performing arts as a CAPE subject. And we don't have that in Grenada. Why? So we can preach all we want about teaching theatre, teaching the arts in secondary schools, but when they go to TAMCC, there's nothing for them to follow up with. So I think we need to push for a performing arts program in TAMCC as well. And the performing arts program will take care of music, drama, design, all of those things. And that's what we need to do. Education is the key to push the arts forward.
Your directorial skills. You mentioned doing it in college, getting your A and pushing that in the back of the cupboard. But now that you've gotten more taste of it as recent as Patient Zero, is that the next step for Neila? Would you be directing more?
It definitely is the next step for me. And I think I pushed it aside too long, too far away in my suitcase. Directing for me is an opportunity to tell stories. And we don't just tell stories with our voices, we tell it with pictures. And for me, directing does that for me. And working on Patient Zero with this amazing cast, Robert White, Rose Bagwan, Dale Bowler, yes, I'm calling your name, Richard Beadle, Jude Bagwan. These people, who did I miss? Did I miss somebody? I feel like I missed somebody.
I feel like you're missing somebody too.
But anyway, working with that cast just really opened me up to the possibilities that, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I know when Mr. DeRiggs gave me that project, he actually just announced it before I even agreed. And at that point, I could not, take up the role as director for that play. But it's an opportunity for me to tell stories with pictures and tell stories with pictures and words, pushing the words aside, but showing the world what these actors can do with their bodies and so on. So, I mean, it is definitely the next step. I have been writing a lot lately too. I have a project coming up in July, which I am writing, and writing for me, I'm a perfectionist, so every word, every sentence has to be perfect. So it takes me a lot longer, but it's gonna get done. So look out for that. Look out for my production, my own production coming up soon. So yeah.
Somebody on Facebook is inquiring. We have seen women now taking lead roles in directing movies, plays, and music, etc. Question is, as a young person graduating from college, want to make an acting career, what ideas or experiences can you share with that person?
Okay. Also, this person just graduated. Yeah.
Yes.
We're assuming.
Yes, we're assuming the person just graduated. They're thinking of the arts. What ideas or experiences can you share to encourage them?
Okay, well, I mean, in my experience, you can't stop. You can't just sit down, you have to just keep going. Even if there's nothing happening, in my experience, I've realized you have to make it happen for yourself. Even if you create a 1 minute or 2 minute film on your smartphone, that is progress. That is something, because you're creating content and you're developing your skills. During the lockdown, I humbled myself and I worked on my writing. I did a couple writing courses. I did a screenwriting course. I wrote a short film that I've been playing around in my head for years, about an experience that I have. And I just kept pushing it off, putting it off. And I realized it's not going to happen if it's stuck in my head. So I first started, I journaled it. I wrote it in one of my journals. I wrote down everything that was in my head. And when that screenwriting opportunity came about last year during the lockdown, I jumped at it. My film got approved for the workshop. And, in the workshop, I tailored it, I bounced it off of people. And that's another thing. Don't be afraid to share your ideas with somebody who is more experienced than you. And sometimes you just have to put aside all that pride and share it with Mr. DeRiggs. And that's what I do. Last year I started writing a play called Quarantine, because we were on the lockdown. And first scene, I sent it to Mr. DeRiggs, check it out for me, check it out. And he gave me feedback. I mean, don't just share it with Blossom. If Blossom is not into that, so she's not going to give you real feedback. Share it with somebody who will give you real
constructive criticism. Yeah,
exactly, because that's what we need for our work, and that's what we need to grow. If I have an idea, just the other day I shared an idea with a friend of mine who's into marketing, because I know she will do well with it. I'm not going to share it for Blossom. Blossom is going to put my idea under her pillow.
Right, exactly.
Share it with somebody who you trust and who will give you honest and constructive feedback. So that is a little taste of my advice that I would give you. Just don't sit on it. Don't sit on your talent. Collaborate with people in the field. Work with somebody who is better than you, so you could develop your skills and be better. And that way you're able to make a better contribution to the work.
All right, so hold on. Let me send some kudos before I go on. Two people on WhatsApp. Somebody says, I love you, Neila. God bless you. I wish I can share my poems with you. Somebody wants to share their poems with you.
You can.
Somebody else on WhatsApp says, tell Neila Salab says good morning, and he's extremely proud of her. Pronounce it as spelled. Neelant? He told me to pronounce it as spelled. So he calls you Neelant, I'm assuming?
Yes, he calls me Neelant. I know who that is.
I think I have a feeling who it is too.
Yes, I know.
Facebook, somebody says, I love your fire for the arts. Very creative and talented. Keep the fire burning. You are so positive. I hope you get support from the people responsible for the development of culture in our country.
Oh, thank you so much.
Somebody on Facebook is inquiring if that's the lady that did the advertisement for the street crossing. I love that ad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is her. It is the street crossing lady.
Oh dear, I've gotten so many people have stopped me to say, hey, can you help me cross the street? So many people. So yes, I do 1 or 2 ads here and there and some voiceovers. If you want an autograph, I can send that to you and I can probably help you cross the street. And Blossom, I know we're laughing, but ever since I did that ad, it's like I'm so conscious of all the pedestrians You know, like I must stop, I must do the hand signal, you know, it just made me so much more aware, hyper aware that kids are crossing, adults are crossing, some of them don't know how to cross, they have to be patient.
I agree with that part. There's a question on the YouTube asking, have you or any of the others thought of uploading plays on YouTube? So I would expand it a bit to ask, what about putting together visual parts of production, not just recording on a cell phone, but actual productions that you can upload on various sites that people can view?
Yes, and I think that is one of my downfalls. I rely on other people to document, forgetting that I should document as well, or ask someone to document. Because I'm so always involved and always doing the thing, I don't get the time personally to document the things, right? So I always have to be mindful when I'm doing a production, when I'm doing, even during rehearsals, I've started taking images from start to finish, you know, from pre-production, during the process, to post-production, to document. I think personally, that's my downfall. I wish somebody would volunteer most of the time. I know you can't volunteer all the time, you know, but that's something I need to work on. I need to hire or put somebody in place to document and upload, because I always forget to do that. I also want to add that because of after Patient Zero, we decided that we wanted to share the story with others. So we are working on the YouTube, I guess, making the film version of Patient Zero available. It's in the editing stages. Happy to report. We just have to fine tune some of the music, because we have to make sure we don't, steal people's work, give them credit and royalties apply for stuff like that once you publish it online. So that's something we are in the process of completing. So I'm happy to report that we are working on it. Thank you so much for your question. And if you have videography skills that you want to share, come along. You can get my information from Blossom, and we could talk. Yeah.
I was just about to ask the person who wants to share their poems, and somebody says if there's a number for someone who is interested in acting, how can people get in touch with you?
Okay, so my company's email address is Creative Arts Theatre Grenada, and it's simple. Creative Arts Theatre Grenada @gmail.com. You can send me an email, and I could probably send something to Blossom so you can put it up on your Facebook page. I will be starting adult classes July. So that's something you guys might want to come on. And I am looking for writers, looking for anybody who wants to collaborate with the arts, because I truly believe you must collaborate in the arts in order for it to flourish. And we don't want it to be stagnant. We don't want people to continue doing things in their pockets. It doesn't benefit anybody if you do it alone. Do it together. Let's pull our resources together to make this thing better and to do more for our country and ourselves.
Neila, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation this morning, especially a part about how you got into it. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I love it. I appreciate you so very much for being my guest this morning. Bless up your whole talented, creative self.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here, and I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for allowing me to share with your viewers and with the world, and to the people watching. Thank you, watching and listening. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love, your comments, and everything. And I just want to say thank you to all the women who have been there supporting in terms of music and in all the creative arts. And I might forget somebody, but people who stick out right now, Lexanne Fletcher, you have no idea how much you have inspired me throughout my career. And I remember when I wrote Dunk Olympics and you had to interview me, you were so inspired that you wrote your own children's story as well. And then I got to interview you, so that was special. And you've been inspiring me. You've been there. You're so caring and kind, and you always give me motivation. And people like Alyssa Basinski and Camille John, Rose Bagwan, those writers who have recently collaborated with people like Zoe Hagley. I'm gonna forget somebody, so I should probably stop. Kelly Waldron. All those women who continue to inspire and grow and do more for self and empowering others, empowering women. And thank you to the men for for paving the way forward and for challenging me to challenge the work and to be better at my craft. So thank you so much again.
Appreciate it, Neila. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Continue to be safe and continue doing what you're doing in the arts.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Right.
Once again, another thoroughly enjoyed interview, or should I say conversation. I want to thank Neila so very much for being our guest this morning, and thank you for viewing and listening to the conversation. Hopefully it was enlightening. Neila, just before you run, Neila, look, Zoe says, I love your passion. Keep it up. Proud of you. So Zoe was tuned in and she blessing you up.
Hi, Zoe. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Let's now join the BBC for its 8 a.m. newscast. Bye. Hold on, Neila.